Hey friends, welcome back to Hot News. It's Friday. Hope you're enjoying Into the Spider-Verse. Did that come out in the States already? It's coming out here in South Africa, so I'm excited to go see that tomorrow. Reece, you want to join? Reece and I are going to go see Spider-Man tomorrow. I'm excited. Anyways, I want to let you know that this video is actually brought to you by our UFD Deals website. If you're looking to pick up some hot tech deals around the internet right before Christmas, you need to do some last minute shopping, check out UFD Deals. Link for that will be in the video description to help you save money around the internet. And I also just want to let you guys know that we do have a Patreon in case you guys are at all interested in supporting us. You do get ad-free uploads of all of our videos posted to Patreon. We try to get it there early, but most of the time we're running on such a slim production schedule that they're basically released at the same time, but ad-free, so that's nice. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up there. And before we jump into it, I just wanna let you know that everything that we talk about in the Hot News episode is linked in a timestamp down below, both in the description and in the pinned comment. So I don't understand why people leave comments giving timestamps, because I already give you the timestamps to skip ahead if you want to. I'm not being a jerk who's making you sit through everything. You can click on what you want to watch. I believe in that firmly. Let's get into the hot news. We got a lot to talk about, and actually we got so much to talk about, I have to put it into a second episode. We're gonna do it on Saturday as well. Anyways, let's talk about Intel again. Yeah, we talked about them yesterday, but we missed one thing, which they launched their B365 chipset, which is based on the 22 nanometer process. This is because Intel is running out of 14 nanometer fabrication space because they haven't switched over to 10 nanometers yet. Maybe that'll be alleviated once they switch over to Sunny Cove, but at this point, it hasn't happened yet. So they're producing B365, which is basically B360 on 22 nanometers, which actually it's not, because there is some speculation that it's actually just Z170 where you can't overclock chips, because it has all of the same features, because it is slightly different from B360. It looks like Z170 that you can just not overclock with. So we'll see. Anything, I don't know, this doesn't matter to me. There might be Windows 7 support there, but we'll see how that goes. Anyways, moving on to another piece of Intel news, which is their Optane memory. This was something cool that they also announced yesterday. It looks like they might be releasing some Intel Optane DIMM sticks to allow you to get the faster storage in a more convenient package, because one of the issues that we have with Intel Optane is that it's so fast that it kind of gets bottlenecked by the protocols it uses to actually store data. So both SSD format, which is typically up to 500 to 600 megabytes per second, and then also over PCI Express, which is still like 3.5 gigabytes per second. It's still not fast enough for how fast Optane can go, so they're looking at adding it to the DIMM slot so that we can have lower latency and actually realize the potential of Intel Optane. They're quoting that it's almost 30 times as fast as an Intel Optane SSD, which would make it probably about, which would make it about 5 times as fast as a PCI Express based one, which that's pretty impressive. I'm excited for this. We'll see where this goes. It's kind of cool that we're getting super fast storage that's actually limited by how we have computers set up and not that the storage isn't fast enough. Good job, Intel. That's the last time I'm saying that. And then speaking of VR, I guess, Zenimax and Oculus and Facebook have gotten over with their lawsuit. It appears that Facebook is deciding to settle for the claims that Oculus stole some patents from Zenimax to make their VR headsets. They're settling for what is now an undisclosed amount. So yeah, they actually did, and they're paying up for it. Good job. Then YouTubers today might see a significant, noticeable decrease in their amount of subscribers because YouTube is purging some spam subs that they didn't actually get taken care of in their normal purging. So it might be noticeable to both large and small creators, which maybe that might be bad news for PewDiePie. We'll see, we'll see. As of recording this video, we haven't lost any subs, so we'll see how this goes and see where it takes us. And yeah, see, next thing, Yahtzee. Okay, so this is the headline piece, and this is just a move that makes us go, what are you thinking, Razer? Why are you doing this? Who in the world approved this program? Clearly the CEO does, because he actually released a statement about that, and it's just a whole bunch of why the crap would you do this? So let me talk to you about Razer Rewards. So they have this program, Razer Gold and Razer Silver, where you can do a whole bunch of different things to earn points and then claim them for things such as Razer products or even video games. Sounds like a decent setup, right? Until they announced their latest effort to get people to earn Razer Silver in their rewards program, which is the Razer Soft Miner. You have to mine in order to get Razer things, and it's not even good. It's not even a good return. It basically takes a dang long time in order for you to even earn a game that was released ages ago. And if you want to earn a new game such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that's going to take you nearly 200 days. A $60 game is going to take you 200 days to earn of solid mining through the Razer program. Now, obviously, this is not the only way that you can earn these Razer reward points. You can do it through being paid to play now on mobile and PC, vote matches, or compete in tournaments to win. You can do it through purchasing on the Razer store or even signing up. That's great. Or the most prominent and easiest way, just let them mine on your software. Who thinks this is a good idea? At what point did people say, hey, a year after crypto crashed, a year after we hit the peak of Bitcoin, now's the time to release a miner? What are you doing, Razer? Come on. Am I the only one who feels this way? This is kind of dumb, right?
Stupid.
The Tech Power Up article that I pulled for this one has the best first line. In a move that makes us go, WTF? Internally, Razer has decided to test their fan base's loyalty more so than ever before. I think that's spot on. This is a bunch of hot garbage. There's no reason to mine. I don't care. Like, even the Razer CEO is just like, you guys can earn stuff. It's great. No. This is like that Games from Space thing that we did a while ago, except for the issue with this over Games from Space is one, as far as I can tell, it pays slightly less, and then two, they don't have that expansive of a lineup. Games for Space is a better thing to do than this. This is terrible. Don't do this, Razer. Kill it from your program. Get rid of it. No reason to mine. There's no reason for anybody to mine, especially not for a third party. Nobody should be mining for you, Razer. That's messed up, in my personal humble opinion. Ooh, I wonder if this is because Razer's upside down on crypto purchases. And they're like, we have to make our investment back. That's don't sue me. That's just a joke speculate. Okay, moving on. Oh, I'm gonna leave a poll right up there. Do you think this Razer crypto mining thing is good or not? Because it kind of seems like they're just like, hey, you remember how everybody was pissed off about mining a while back in the PC gaming community? Let's now hope that they forgot and promote it. Yeah, boo. And then talking about things that cost a lot of money, OnePlus's CEO actually had a discussion about introducing 5G to phones. And currently, with the way things stand, what he says regarding the cost of integrating 5G, even though we're going to get tremendously faster speeds, is that we're also going to get tremendously costlier phones. Based on the interview, he said it's hard to know because there's a lot of specifics still to look at, but it's likely in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 more. So any flagship is likely going to have an inherent cost of $200 to $300 extra over LTE at the current moment, which does not make 5G worth it. Obviously, this doesn't say what the technology could inevitably become, where they can reduce costs and then 5G becomes a mainstream thing because the price is low enough, not lower enough. Brett, English is the words you're speaking. Anyways, if you wanted expensive phones, you got them. That $1,000 iPhone is now going to cost $1,200 to $1,300. Hopefully more 5G modems are produced that can actually lower this price, as I mentioned. But now let's talk about PlayStation Classic. For whatever reason, that's the transition I'm going with. So, the PlayStation Classic, coming with a disappointing amount of games, also discovered to have games on the system that you can't actually play because they've locked it behind closed doors. Why, Sony? Anyways, it has now been hacked so that you can actually play ROMs off of a USB stick, which turns it actually into quite a decent emulator. In my opinion. Like, the price is really expensive, $100 for what you get in those games, but if you use it as an emulator that you've already been using as an emulator, then it just looks like a PlayStation. Like, that's kind of the appeal, is that it looks like the console that you're playing your games off of, which I like that. I don't like Sony charging so much and locking so much down, and then also using open source ROM software to get this stuff running, but the fact that it can be hacked so fast and so easily makes it kind of intriguing to see where it could go in the future. And then we also have an announcement that they're getting wireless controller adapter support through 8BitDo, who does typically come out with wireless controllers for these type of mini emulators. So I'm excited on that. So a wireless controller with a DualShock 4, and then you can play any game you want because you can plug it in on a USB stick. It's kind of appetizing at $50. Not at 100.
I dig it, but it feels like the most low effort thing Sony's done. It's like, hey, this free software.
Yeah, it feels like they put no effort into this, and they're like, we're remaking games for so much money. Let's make a little bit more money by the non-remade ones. Don't do this. In case you haven't heard, spaceflight is now possible thanks to Virgin Galactic, which that's technically up for debate by some people who disagree as to where space actually starts in the atmosphere. But the whole point is that Virgin took a plane up on a rocket, let it go, and then it flew around, which was really cool because it went up to 82.8 kilometers or around 50 miles and makes it the first space plane that they've actually been able to launch properly, which is cool for faster travel across the globe. The reason that this is up for debate when it comes to what is actually space, some people say that space is about 100 kilometers up and not 80, although there has been talks in the scientific community of dropping that 100 to 80, so this would technically be space. But based on a Twitter poll that's out there, most people are just like, no, this is not space. Stop calling it space. 100 kilometers or nothing. So shut up, Virgin. You didn't make it into space. But it's still cool. It's still cool. This is, regardless of whether or not this is space, it's premium. And then, in case you hadn't heard, because we never reported on it in hot news, but you should know about it, Qualcomm has actually won a lawsuit against Apple in China regarding stealing of patents, and they awarded that to Qualcomm. And now it looks like Qualcomm is trying to go for more by getting the iPhone XS and XR banned from sale in China. We'll see where this goes. Obviously, this is just their attempt and their effort to get it through the legal proceedings, so we'll see if this actually happens, which would impact Apple's bottom line quite significantly, especially since their value has gone down now that sales have gone down. And then if you lose sales in the country of the biggest population in the world, that might also not look good to shareholders. And then we have, again, another gross story. I think we do these about once a week, where we had the blood clot last week. I mean, there's not really anything gross here. That there's like a heart in the image, but anyways. So somebody left a heart behind on a Southwest airline flight. A heart in a cooler, and they just left it. And Southwest was like, who did this? Because most companies that actually transport organs don't typically take commercial flights. They have their own service, private flights typically, and that's what somebody from Life Center Northwest regarded. They said, we only use private flights because there's a time limit to get it to where it needs to go. You can't go through security. You can't take the hours that it needs to go through commercial flights in order to provide organs to people. So it appears that the source of the heart was a forgetful courier hired by Sierra Donor Services in Sacramento, California, to bring the heart to Seattle for valve retrieval, according to the Seattle Times. A representative for Sierra Donor Services told the Times that the delay did not adversely affect the tissue in any way, and the valve will prove useful in future surgery. That's great. Great to hear. Positive story out of people just leaving organs on planes. I'm tired of all these organs on this plane. That is a terrible Samuel L. Jackson impression.
Wow.
That was awful.
That's good, actually.
Thank you. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for Hot News today. Thank you all so much for watching this Friday edition. Don't forget that we're going to have another one coming out tomorrow on Saturday. In case you're interested, this video was brought to you by UFD Deals. If you want to save money during this holiday season on tech stuff, you can check out UFD Deals. Don't forget, we also have a Patreon if you want to get ad-free uploads, sometimes early, sometimes on time, but we try to do our best. And if you guys want to support what we're doing here at UFD Tech, not just Hot News, but everything else we have going on behind the scenes, it's definitely appreciated. Anyways, I'm Brett with the UFD Tech Channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see your smiling faces again in the next video. Love you too. Stop the kissing!